What's up guys, and welcome to part 12 of the Ultimate Guide to Dark Souls 3. We'll be continuing on from the last episode, which was Irithyll Dungeon, and we'll be going to the Profaned Capital.
Yeah, so the Profaned Capital intertwines with Irithyll Dungeon. So we are also putting on Caress and Tears from Karthus Flameark. Now, we don't really use Karthus Flameark that much. You should probably be using it a lot more than we do.
I just keep forgetting to put it on before bosses because the raw Stora is just so much damage anyway.
Yeah.
I don't really need to give a fuck.
But anyway, we're putting on Caress and Tears because we're about to go into like a place that will toxic you, so...
Okay, down here to the right, by the way, is where the magic stone plate ring +2 will be.
Yeah, down those stairs is in front of us. There's no items there just now, so that's why we didn't go there,
Yeah,
but...
and New Game +2, that's when the item will show up there.
Yeah.
It's magic stone plate +2.
So here we have another one of these gargoyles. Now at the end of the last video we said that they can drop either
the gargoyle flame spear or the gargoyle flame hammer, axe, torch, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like a hammer, but...
And it doesn't look like an axe either.
Well, I mean, it's not an axe, that's why.
It's got an axe moveset.
So around here, it looks like there should be more items than there is, but basically, I wonder what that item is up there.
Rubbish. That's behind the mimic.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
It's the rubbish because it's literally had rubbish has had no purpose since Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
Because you got it in Dark Souls 2 for breaking a chest. We're like, yeah, it's rubbish. That's a free Titanite chunk later. Was it? Fuck. The crow practically spat in our face. What are you bringing that here for? So,
anyway.
Going in here, you want to take a left, then a right, kill the lizard. Then you want to take a right, then a left, and kill the other lizard.
Yeah, because otherwise you're going to fall down in a hole and into the floor, and that'll take you to the toxic area, I think.
Yeah, it does. It takes you to the toxic area where there's all of those like horrible hair, leggy, like I'm just gonna call them witch things.
Yeah.
They're like something out of like some
blood
weird.
bomb.
Yeah. I was gonna say it is like a very it's a very Lovecraftian nightmare thing. All the arms and legs and yeah.
I'd like to have seen some of these enemies in Bloodborne, honestly.
I mean, I feel like that's where they were in the first place, and this is just like leftovers. Like, remember the things were in Bloodborne? Gives a couple of them, alright. Gives the yawn. Give me the lycanthropes and the things with the legs and the hair.
So we purposefully put on a bit of the Armour of Thorns now. Not many things have ever suggested this, and it just so happens that Stephen found this out.
By absolute happenstance, because I wanted to wear at least one piece of thorns the entire game, because it would stagger enemies that had 0 poise.
But we'll get to specifically why we're putting that on, you'll see in a second. But we're going to come back here because it means it saves a little bit of backtracking, whatever. Down here.
There's a poison gem and there's something else in here. So you actually want to take on these 3 in this little section. The other 2 you don't even have to interact with. These things are fucking annoying though. It's when they do it's the flying attack thing that they do. I just can't. It's like sewer centipede they're called or something, isn't it?
Yeah, like all the other things, by the way, they can drop purging stones. Like all the other sewer centipedes anyway.
Yeah.
Now, the game did give you a few purple blooming moss before coming in here, but you know you can use that. But obviously, you don't know how many.
Only give you 3 though.
Yeah, you don't know how often you're going to get toxic, so that's why Caress and Tears is really great.
Caress and Tears is really light on your mana bar as well, so there's like no reason not to use it. You'd be able to use it. You can use it at the base stats for the Astora's sword anyway. So
yeah,
it's just an unlimited use. Blooming purple moss and red moss, and it's just everything.
It's nice how it all came together because it means that you can use the Astora's sword, which is a great weapon, but it also lets you use Caress and Tears.
That attack there, where it like fucking flies in like Batman.
Aye.
Like, what the fuck you meant to do with that? I mean, obviously dodge it, but I don't know how.
Press the dodge button.
It's do you know what it is? I think it's because they spread out so much, it creates lift, and they just fall really slowly, so it fucks my timing up. Like a flying squirrel. They just glide.
So, coming around here to this sort of church-ish building,
yeah.
This is where we'll be going next. Now, there's a ladder to the side door, but there's a couple of things we want to do first before continuing on.
There's a unique weapon we're going to get before we go up that way.
Yeah, for whatever reason, an enemy drops the specific weapon. It's always
Eleonora.
the first one. Yeah.
But, oh yeah, so there's an item around here, and then we go in here, we're going to get to these big things that are just made of hands and eyes, basically.
Yeah.
And that's the reason we're putting on the Armour of Thorns, because they have a specific attack that when you roll into them during that attack, you parry them.
If you're wearing a bit of Armour of Thorns.
Yeah, if you're wearing Armour of Thorns. Which, I found this out in my first playthrough, and I just laughed so much, because you can literally iframe and parry them at the same time.
Yeah.
It's the perfect combination. So if you walk in a little bit, you will aggro only one of these, and it's only that one that you want to aggro because that's the only one that drops the Eleonora.
Yeah.
Which is a really bad weapon. So this attack here, if you roll in, you can parry them and then you can take the riposte.
Now this, again, will only work if you're wearing Armour of Thorns. Now, you also, they're quite tanky and irritating to take care of, so just try and aggro this one, just take care of this one, run in, grab the item and run back, because fuck fighting the other ones, who cares?
So you want to keep about this distance. As soon as it hops up on its hind legs, roll into its stomach, take the riposte, and just repeat until it's dead, basically. Thus making these enemies have absolutely zero threat so long as you have the Armour of Thorns.
I feel like these would have been good in the Nightmare of Mensis, because they're fucking horrifying.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's where they were supposed to be, and then they went, nah, we'll just put the squids in instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, grabbing this item, which is a Purging Stone, and then we're going to move right on, and we're going to go up that ladder that you've seen to the left.
Yeah.
And continue on. Pretty sure there's a ring up there as well. Yeah, there's the flame stone plate ring is on top of this, like up on this section we're coming up to right here.
Yeah, we'll show you specifically in a second.
Yeah. So we're going to get up this ladder, walk around the rooftop. Now we're coming up to an NPC who will drop us Logan's Scroll and we're Siegward's Quest as well. The ring we think is either on this platform or the one above it.
Yeah.
In New Game Plus, and it's the flame stone plate ring +1, so that's New Game +1. So this guy will drop his Logan's Scroll. He's using the Gargoyle Flame Torch Hammer Axe, whatever the fuck it is. And he casts a bunch of spells, so just be careful because he actually does some pretty nice damage.
However, he's pretty weak and will be swiftly dispatched with this.
He's not weak. The Astora's Sword is just pretty strong. The balance of power is all offset by this raw +7 Astoras.
Yeah.
So poison arrows, always handy. And now I think we're going to do the jump into... no, we're not. We're going to drop down here and then we're going to do the jump to Siegward. So this should net as Wrath of the Gods.
Yeah. So this is a good, very powerful miracle.
Well, it was. Now it's not as useful as it once was. It's really fallen from grace since Dark Souls 1. Every miracle has. It's not even called Sunlight Blade anymore. Now it's just lightning.
I know.
Now it's just a couple of clouds rubbed together and now we've got an electric sword. It's not even the power of the sun.
Give like the little sort of like bugle fanfare, like do do do.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do. Right, so killing this thing. There's the sage's something in here. Sage's set or staff, I think, or court sorcerer's set. That's it.
There you go. I need to get there eventually.
Shut up.
God, those things are so disgusting.
I know, it looks like it's
the
like
ooze
came in
in
its
their
hand.
mouth and stuff. Oh yeah, those things will also drop dung pie.
Yeah.
But this is the mimic. This one will drop as the court sorcerer's staff.
Yet another fucking mimic.
It's actually just more surprising when it's a chest.
No. Like the whole point in the mimic was like catch you off guard, but now you're just like, I attack this thing now.
Yeah. So, oh, another one. Do you know what's probably pretty rare? The crab mimics. I wonder how many of them there are in the game compared to regular mimics, because there's not many of them.
So there's nothing in that room, and you were right about that item being the rubbish.
The rubbish.
Yeah, the
I
thing
know it
looks
was.
over.
I was pretty confident. But now we're going to go back onto this rooftop because there's a little jump that a lot of people miss. I missed it in my first playthrough. Right in here, this is going to lead us to Siegward. Now, I think you need the old cell key, I think it's called.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we'll see when we open the door. But
I
we
think
got
it's
that in the
called
last
the old
part.
cell key.
Yeah, but we got that in the last part anyway.
Yeah. So you get that in Irithyll Dungeon. This is the Covet's Gold Ring, and we talk to Siegmeyer.
We get ourselves a Titanite slab.
Yeah. And there's only one part of Siegmeyer's quest to go where we're going to get some more things from him.
Yeah.
But that's it pretty much for this little section. Now we can proceed on and we're going to head back into basically Irithyll Dungeon.
Yeah, so this is now where we can wrap up getting the other items in Irithyll Dungeon using another shortcut we get. And for some reason these guys are invisible, like for whatever fucking reason. As if they weren't hard enough. But down the end here, instead of dropping off, we can get the Covetous Gold Serpent Ring.
No, we got the Covetous Gold Serpent Ring.
Jailer's Key,
yeah,
never mind.
The Jailer's Key is the thing we need to free Carla.
Yeah, so that's actually something you could potentially miss, by the way. So,
so now we're going to drop down here. Now these rats are on unlimited respawn, so it's really annoying. And this giant doesn't do nearly enough work to assist me in killing him. But
selfish.
We make it.
So I just want to make a quick point out here that this is literally harder than the Dark Souls 2 rat boss. Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
But, and it's cooler, it makes more sense. Oh, you've got a giant, but you've got all these rats and they're all around you, do you know what I mean? Like, that's a much better boss. But anyway,
I'm surprised the rats weren't like nibbling on his toes and stuff before we got there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty fine to come up and nibble on at us. Maybe it's the size. Maybe it's because we're closer to their size. They're not intimidated by us.
Maybe. However, right, so just dealing with this giant like you deal with the ones in Cathedral of the Deep. You just hit the feet. It's not even difficult. They don't even do that much damage either.
The hardest part is actually hitting them because they just keep pivoting, like sliding around.
Yeah.
Like physics just don't apply to them. These guys can just levitate and rotate on the same spot on their y-axis.
Zero friction.
Yeah.
However, once it's dead, it will drop a Titanite chunk, so we want to obviously get that because Titanite chunks are like fucking gold dust.
I mean, at this stage of the game, they are like fucking gold dust. Wait until you get to Higher Lothric Castle, and then they're like practically flinging them at you.
Aye. So there's Profaned Flame as well, so that's Pyromancy.
And that's not a ragdoll, I was just checking, it's a large Titanite shard.
Yeah. So you should be going that way. You initially went the wrong way. You went up here. This leads you to a shortcut back to the start of Irithyll Dungeon.
Yeah, and there's a ring on these platforms on the way up as well. And New Game Plus, the covetous Silver Serpent Ring +1 is up that ladder. Not this ladder, this elevator shaft. You drop off the elevator to get it. At least that's what the Prima guide says. So if that's wrong, then you blame those fucks.
Yeah, not us.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I suppose you could go, well, why didn't you check it? Well, why didn't you check it?
I know. Like, why are you looking at a 100% guide if you're so fucking good at the game, eh?
I know.
No, please don't go. We need your views. So, yeah, another fucking mimic. That's only, like, the 5th mimic in Irithyll Dungeon so far.
And the shit that they give you gets worse as well as time goes along. So, now we're going up this ladder. This will then take you to the other side of the... Oh, no, it doesn't take you to the other side, but it takes you up to the giant from Irithyll Dungeon, which we just killed. Yeah, sure, but it takes you up to where the giant part is. Yeah. So, it means that you do a little jump, get an item, and it means that you can get the crystal lizard that the giant was blocking initially. So this is a room of nothingness. This is a room that only serves to lead you to this ledge, so you can do the jump to get these crossbow bolts, lightning bolts. And the Titanite lizard is right down there. So I put on a silver cat ring because I don't want to take no fall damage. But yeah, taking out this lizard. Now we can collect the items that are in about this giant. I think one of them is a Titanite chunk, actually. Is it? No, that's just a soul packet, right? Yeah, that's a soul packet. It's the fact that the crystal lizard guarantees a Titanite chunk drop. Yeah. So in this here, I don't know if you remember. It's just a ladder that will take you up to all the jailers, right? Yeah, that bit with all the jailers and where you drop down to the giant's arm, it just takes you up to there. So now we've still got the silver cat ring on. We're going to go up that elevator because that takes us to the very first that takes us to the Irithyll Dungeon bonfire, the one at the very beginning. So I suppose this now means that you actually can't jump down here with the silver cat ring and skip out a bunch of Irithyll Dungeon Profaned, because actually when you jump down here it actually only leads back to the start of Irithyll Dungeon, so you can't actually skip anything by jumping down here. You can get the shortcut early, but it doesn't matter. Because the shortcut only leads from there to here and nowhere else. So True, the shortcut's just going to lead you back into that bit where all the jailers where Carla is. Yeah. So you don't gain any. What is the point in that shortcut then? Well, it's just to lead you back to here, I suppose. But why would you go that way? Why wouldn't you go out the gate that you opened with the jailbreaker's key? Because it's practically the same place, it just takes way less time. I don't fucking know. Well, anyway, so we're going to come back to Firelink Shrine. We're going to do our Firelink Shrine stuff. Yep. So... And we've only got 2 Titanite chunks at this point, but we will be getting more in the next part, so... Yeah, we will be getting plenty in the next part, don't you, buddy? Hey, we need another 4 and then we can level up our stores anyway. So I think we have... yeah, we're just checking if we've got any stuff to do, but we'll probably level up now and then we'll continue on. Yeah, there's not much left, thankfully. The road after this gets pretty relaxed. A couple of gargoyles to take care of, and then it's mostly just pretty basic, easy enemies. And then Yhorm, who's a bit of a laugh. I put in the preliminary Yhorm footage because it highlights a much better way of actually doing it. Yeah, because Siegward died in the actual guide footage. Somehow he died to Yhorm. Yhorm just went fucking ham on him, but really when you're... I'll actually explain what you've done wrong when we get there. But now we've got the jailer's key, yeah? We can now get the items that we missed initially in Irithyll Dungeon. So in the last part we would have missed this item, but we can come and get it now that we got the key in this part. And basically we'll just be mopping up the enemies in exactly the same way.
Yep. Only a couple of places to hit anyway. There's ashes in here, right?
Yeah, so there is the jail warden's ashes or something like that, which we get from just I was trying to explain where it was, and you're like, what? And then yeah, so you jump down there, and it's literally on the behind you.
Right
so
here.
And then the last thing is to get Carla's ashes.
Carla's ashes?
No, what the fuck am I saying? The last thing is
She's
to
not
free
dead.
Carla. Yeah.
So I'm looking for the little shortcut. I found it. So come in here, and it should be the second door on right. So you got to run all the way up this path and then like U-turn, because they took away the staircase there because they thought that would stop her from breaking out, I guess. So we're just gonna ignore the jailers because we get in here, break line of sight, mash the interact button with Carla to recruit her, and then we're just gonna homebone.
Yeah, because there's no point in like really dealing with an area that you don't have to deal with.
Yeah.
So we came back to the Profaned Capital. We went home and going back to Firelink, but then we're just coming straight to here. We're not doing anything else anyway.
Yeah.
So
at this point, you could go give Carla the tomes and stuff if you want to, but we're gonna do that after we beat Yhorm.
Yeah, we'll just do it at the end in terms of like just to save pace.
Yeah.
But yeah, so essentially, right, you could everything that we just done there, you can essentially skip. You don't actually need to do it. You can come straight from that profaned, the Profaned Capital bonfire, and just come straight down this ladder, and this is the path to the boss essentially.
You do want to go that way though if you're doing Siegward's questline, because if you go fight the boss, then Siegward just disappears from the world if you don't grab the Titanite slab off of him there.
Yeah, you need to save him. So it's kind of annoying how these two areas aren't integrated a little bit better. It's literally just there's the boss immediately and there's other items, but it's not that big a deal. So we're gonna just grab the items on this bridge, and we're getting peppered. So
definitely bait the gargoyle back into this room over here. I know it's like a little cramped, but you can't be hit with like the fireballs from the big pot down there, and you're not fighting it on a bridge. So pull it into that room, and you should have a slightly easier time with it.
Yeah.
Now, these things here are just really they're just designed to annoy you, basically. They pepper you with fire attacks as you swing away in their group. They got little jagged ghost blades, it looks like.
Something that you can do is if you two-hand and you put Karthus Flameark on, you should theoretically be able to three-shot them, given the damage that we saw that we were doing. So that would maybe make them slightly easier to take care of.
Oh, by the way, if you're having trouble with this gargoyle, the gargoyles can't do stairs properly, or at least they have trouble doing stairs. So that's a pretty good way. If you're having trouble, just run up the stairs and then see if you can get an easy plunge attack in.
Yeah, so that's something we learned in the preliminary.
Now, there's another group of followers straight up ahead. We're going to deal with the ones that are on our right first, because the ones straight up ahead, when you start to attack them, the gargoyle drops down from behind you, and then you got to deal with the gargoyle before you deal with them. So we're going to take care of these things here first. And this will stop the big fire pot firing shit at us when we're walking past the bridge.
Is it the fire pot that fires it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they all like sort of channel into the big pot, and then it launches a fireball at like fucking Mach 10.
Alright.
So you will hear the gargoyle land behind you. I was looking for it because I'm like, where the fuck is it? I know it's here, but I don't know where. You'll hear it land behind you. As soon as you cross like this threshold here, you'll hear the gargoyle land, and then you're like, ah, okay.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
So again, you want to bait all the enemies back. Now this fucking gargoyle, that has like a ridiculous attack.
That like lunge. That's the sword art, by the way. See that plunge that it just did? That's what the sword art does. But like you leap into the air and swing the lance around.
Now these jailer handmade, which isn't even on. Oh, it's just jailer here on. Right, so they can drop the handmaid's dagger, which I didn't even know was a fucking weapon. Rusted coins and rusted gold coins. So
yeah.
Even though I'm pretty sure gold can't rust. Just putting it out there.
Yeah. Quick point to make is there's two chests beyond these jailers. They are mimics, so try not to fight them over there. So you don't want to wake up both mimics. That happened to me in the preliminary run.
So you can see they've got like a magic pixel left with 3 hits with 2-hand in the sword. So if you have Karthus Flameark, you should be 3-shotting them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you would do, because they've got like 10 health left at the end of these 3 one-handed swings. So Karthus Flameark's going to do at least an extra 10 damage per swing.
Yeah.
So these are mimics, so I'm going to wake them up one at a time with pokes, because I don't want to fight 2 mimics, because that doesn't seem like a smart move strategy-wise anyway.
Yet more
Never
mimics.
fight a battle on 2 fronts, I think that was Sun Tzu.
I think it was always Sun Tzu.
It's, any battle references Sun Tzu, we've been over this. Just anything to do with war. Sun Tzu said that. Clearly ahead of his time.
Clearly. Visionary.
Aye.
So, again, we're just general fucking mimic stuff, just circle around it. Again, I'm just going to point out, if you want to farm for the Symbol of Avarice, the thing that it drops, you can wake them up, throw Old Hunter's charm at them, it'll put them to sleep. You can hit them again, wake them up, and just keep doing that until it drops it.
Make sure you hit them with like a bare fist, because you probably killed them after like 8 hits.
Yeah,
with a
probably.
weapon. So now we're going back, because there's 2 more items to grab, and one of them is a drop down from that bridge that we first crossed, where we're getting like all the fireballs launched at us. So we need to go up there and drop down, and that should get us the Onislayer Great Bow, is it?
I think so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the Onislayer Great Bow.
Either that we already picked up and it's just only Slayer
No,
arrows.
that was Onislayer arrows that were there, I think.
Well, I guess we'll see. It was one of the 2.
Put it all on red. Boom, there we go. House wins. But now, skipping down, there's 2 items down here, sorry, actually. There's one, like, right at the end of this bridgeway. I think it's rusted coins, and then there's, like, a large Titanite shard or a
Nah, it's
soul
more
pack.
rusted coins.
Is it more rusted coins?
Yeah.
Shit. Jesus, you gotta be rich. Oh, this rusted money.
I know.
So good. Good thing souls is the currency now, eh?
But, I mean, that's pretty much it for all the items so far.
Ah, yeah, that one.
There we
Yeah,
go.
more rusted coins. Great.
Yeah, I think you were looking about as well, just make sure you didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I didn't, like, I was worried in case there was an item, like, hidden away on one of those platforms that you drop down, but I couldn't remember one being there. So now I can take off the cat ring because
You don't need it.
I don't need to drop down anywhere.
So
And
now we're
it's
going to
time
fight the
to-
boss.
Yeah, so if you've been following Siegbert's questline, then Siegfried will accompany you in this boss fight. He will not be a summon. Basically, if you go into Yhorm's boss fight, you just get an alternate cutscene,
Yeah.
and Siegfried will show up and he'll be like, "I'm back, old friend."
I mean, this is just basically like a straight up 2 references to Demon Souls. No other Souls game has had an NPC that just comes in without you having to summon them. But Siegfried comes in like Bior of the Twin Fangs, and you also pick up Storm Ruler, which does almost the exact same thing as it does in Demon Souls.
No, it does the exact same thing, just you have to charge it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a little bit more balanced, whatever. But this could have been a really cool boss fight, but instead it's a really gay boss fight, so you can kill Yhorm without using the quote-unquote gimmick weapon that it gives you that you're supposed to use it.
Yeah,
There's-
you do extra damage to Yhorm's head, but there's like very few windows where his head is low enough for you to hit him.
yeah.
But you just basically want to run past, grab Storm Ruler, and equip it immediately, because it's pretty much the only way you're going to do significant damage to him in a reasonable amount of time.
If you, for whatever fucking reason, don't want to use Storm Ruler, you can just look up someone speedrunning Yhorm, and there's people that will like speedrun him without using Storm Ruler and will actually kill him, like just using like a fucking short sword or whatever.
So what you got to do is hold L2 to charge it up. When you see that little pulse at the end, that means Storm Ruler's charged. Then you hold L2 and hit R2 to fire out your big wave.
Now, what you want to do here when you're fighting Yhorm is, wait, like there's certain animations that you can't stun him again in. You can't keep him infinitely stunned when he's like this, you'll only do damage. What you want to do is what you kind of fucked up there is,
You want to save all your hits, right? Is that
Yeah,
what you're going to
so-
say.
So when you stun him, you want to be charging up while he's stunned, and don't hit him again when he's in the stunned animation. When he gets out of that, you can then hit him again and that will stun him again. Now the good thing about Siegfried being here is that he can stun him, you can charge up, and then you can hit him. And then Siegfried will charge up and hit him, and you can kind of like keep him in a bit of a loop. Obviously you have to go on partner AI, so it's not reliable, but you can
Like
kind of
here,
see here.
like
yeah.
here.
We're doing it exactly this. This is like what you should be doing. Like, he hits him, stuns him, you charge up, you can stun him, and then...
Now, if you hit Yhorm enough, you see his head fall there. Eventually his head will fall a lot lower than that, and you can go up and take a riposte.
Yeah.
It will fall lower than that as well.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see it in this fight.
I think you saw it once earlier in the fight, you could have reposted.
It would be that one. I think it's that one.
Maybe.
because he like sort of dropped down onto both his knees instead of just one knee, so I think it's that one.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put at the end, put the preliminary footage in where Sigurd died, because then it'll show you more of Yhorm's moveset and how you have to deal with him when you're fighting him one-on-one, because it is a bit harder. But
yeah.
If Sigurd lives, he will give you a third Siegbrow. If he dies, you won't get the Siegbrow, but all his equipment will be dropped and you can pick it up.
Yeah, you still get all his equipment doing it this way as well. It's just you're going to be transported over to the what's her face at Emma, yeah, the one who gave you the banner and the Wear Blue Covenant, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be transported up to her. All you do, don't talk to her because you'll start the Dancer of the Burial Valley fight if you talk to her. So just homeward bone to the last bonfire you rested at, and it should take you to Yhorm's boss room, right? The point is, you can warp to Yhorm's boss room. The game gives you the bonfire for that section anyway.
Yeah, so
you can warp to Yhorm's boss room, and that's where you will get the Storm Ruler, the Pierce Shield, and all of Sigmar's stuff.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, all you really do is miss out on a Siegbrow.
Yeah, so you don't want to do this.
No, you don't.
You don't want to do this, because I'm talking to her. And
I mean, it literally doesn't matter, really, but...
I mean, we're not going to do the Dancer fight. That's pretty much the way it is. We refuse to do the Dancer fight.
Yeah, so we just homeward bone out from this part.
Yeah.
But on the off chance you don't have a homeward bone, just run out of here and get to a bonfire.
Just quit the game and reload, and you'll end up outside of the boss fight, and then you can go back.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we're leaving, going back to the shrine.
And then we go back to Yhorm's.
Yep, and then we're going to Yhorm's to pick up Sigmar's stuff.
Again, if Sigmar dies in the boss fight, his stuff will be there without you having to warp back here.
Yeah, his stuff will just, like, it'll be wherever he dies, basically. But this is how you can acquire a second Storm Ruler, because you'll get his Storm Ruler.
And a full Katarina set as well.
Yeah.
Which kind of implies that he either left it for you, or he died.
Maybe he joined the corpse pile.
Maybe he's just lying there somewhere.
Yeah, he's just like, this is my home now.
So now we're going to go back to Firelink Shrine and do the last of our Firelink Shriney shit. So we're going to go talk to Carla, and we're also going to give Logan's scroll to Orbeck as well. We don't need to, but we're just going to.
We're not buying any of Orbeck's spells yet, by the way, because after you buy so many, you get a bunch of items. So we're just going to do that all in the one go.
Yeah.
Buy all his spells, get all his items, and then trigger his move to Grand Archives. Do it that way instead of gradually getting there piece by piece. Because by the time we get to Orbeck, we have more than enough soul packets to just like buy his entire inventory out, no problem. It's like, what, 130,000 souls or something like that for his full inventory?
Something like that. Now, something to mention here is Carla refuses to take 2 of the things that you give her. She'll take the Pyromancy tomes, fine. However, you have to ask her twice to take the Dark Miracle tomes. But she will take them because she's a little bitch. And
yeah, you just need to like, just come on Carla, do it for the vine.
Nice.
And then she's like, alright, no bother then, I'll do it for the vine.
And then she'll sell you the Dark Miracles.
So, giving the ashes as well.
Now, something to mention is that we are giving her the Dark Miracles because if you give the Dark Tomes and buy any of the Dark Miracles from Irina, you have to do Irina's quest line before you get the Dark Tomes back to give to Carla. So it just makes sense, unless you're very desperate for the Dark Miracles early on, to just wait and give them to Carla. Again, you can give the Dark Miracles to Irina and buy them from her, but you'll get her quote-unquote bad ending. It doesn't really matter either way, but...
I mean, she becomes useless at the end of her quest line anyway, so...
Like, regardless, but...
It would have been cool if there was, like, a certain thing where, like, she'd be, like...
An invader or something. Fucking...
Like, she turns into a Firekeeper or she dies, but you don't need her to be a Firekeeper because you already have a Firekeeper.
And she doesn't need to be alive either.
Yeah, because you've got Carla. You could go the entire game without giving Irina a single tome and give them all to Carla and it'd be fine.
Well, you can't give Irina the light tomes. You can't give Carla the light tomes.
Can you not?
No. So you need Irina for the light miracles. But again, we want to do Irina's quote-unquote good quest anyway because it doesn't, the dark one doesn't matter. It's just a hassle. And it also means that if you do our dark quest, you don't get Aegon as a summon for one of the bosses either. So you miss out on that, I suppose.
Yeah. But that pretty much wraps it up for Profaned Capital and the last part of Irithyll Dungeon, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed that and hopefully you guys found out something new. Wonder how many of you knew about the Ring of Thorns trick against the hand grabby troll monster.
Yeah, that would be good. If anybody knew about that before finding it in Let's Play or whatever, then we'd like to know. But otherwise, we'll see you in the next part, which will be Consumed King's Garden. We'll probably just have that as a single part and then have Untitled Graves as its own part as well. But that's it for us, and we'll see you later on. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.